Welcome to the second lecture of mechanics of solid. So in the last class we started truss, then we gone through how trusses can be used, then we again pointed out that there are two methods of analysis of a truss system. What are they? They are basically a method of joint and method of section. Okay, so this is what we did in last class. So in today's lecture, what we are going to do, we are focusing on the method of joint. So we will learn how to solve a truss using the method of joint. Okay, so before we start solving a problem, we should take care of a few things, that how we are going to solve a truss using method of joint. What are the points that we should take care of before we jump into the problem solving? So irrespective of any method, the first thing that you should see in a question is that whether the given truss is a determinate truss or it is an indeterminate truss. Because if it is indeterminate truss, then you will not be able to solve it simply. You cannot solve it. You have to use some other method. So there is some problem. But if it is a determinate truss, so it becomes easy to solve using equilibrium. So if the truss is a determinate truss, then we can start. If it is indeterminate, we should stop. Okay, we should think of something else, and that else we will study in upcoming lectures. Okay. So right now we are focusing on the determinate trusses. So first you should see whether it is determinate or it is indeterminate. So how will you check? So although we have already studied how to calculate static indeterminacy, you can go back your notes. You can go back your notes and of the last semester, you can see how indeterminacy is calculated. Okay. For now, you can use this condition: if m is equal to 2j minus 3. Okay. If this equation is satisfied for a given question, then the truss is a determinate truss internally, statically internally determined. So if this condition is satisfied, we can move ahead. Or there was one shortcut also I told you in the last semester. What was the shortcut? You need to count the number of panels. Okay, and if the panels have this kind of cross, okay, so each cross has one positive, one indeterminacy. Okay. If this cross is not like that and it is only one intersecting block, for a block there is one diagonal, only one diagonal, then what is it? Static indeterminacy? 0 degree. Okay. If no diagonal are present, it is like this, then it is -1. Okay. What this means is, if it is in form of triangulation, clear triangulation where there is no intersection of diagonal, then what is indeterminacy? It is 0. Okay, so you have to count the panels and you should see whether it is determinate or indeterminate, or what is the value of static indeterminacy. Okay, so you should check it as a first step. Okay, once you know that it is a determinate truss, then next step should be calculating the reaction. So I have tell you that I have noted down that if it is determinate, that you should calculate the support reaction. Okay, this should be your second step. Okay, what can be another step? So after calculating support reaction, you should start applying the method of joint. Okay, so before that you need to select that at which joint or from which joint I should start solving the truss. So you should keep in mind that you need to start with a joint, okay, which have maximum 2 unknowns. Okay, if there will be 2 unknowns, you will be able to solve truss smoothly. You won't be struck by the equation. So although in other way you will get answer, but if you will follow this, answer will be smoother, or the steps will be smoother. Okay, so how this is, we will do it in a question, but right now I am just giving you outline that how you should think to solve a given question. Okay, so after selecting your joint, you should initially give some direction to the members. So initially you can assign them that all the members at a joint are in tension, or all the members at a joint are in compression. You can assume initially anything, and then you can start solving, and later on you can correct them. Okay, so initially assume that all the members are in tension. You can also use compression, but it is always easier if you go with tension, and people usually follow the tension assumption. Okay, what is the next point? It says that in trusses we follow the joint consideration for sign convention, and not what member convention or member consideration. What does this mean? So if it means that if this is some joint and any member connected here is at this joint, suppose one member is connected like this. Okay, so if this force is towards the joint, okay, all the forces are towards the joint, then all these members are in compression. Okay, whereas if all the forces, okay, if all the forces are away from the joint, going away from the joint, then it is in all the members are in tension. Okay, or you can see here, suppose this is a joint, one force is like this, one force is like this, another force is like this. So for this member, force is going away from the joint and it is in tension. For this force, the force is going towards the joint, so it is in compression. This force is going towards the joint, then this member or this force is also a compression force. Okay, so all these sign that whether it is compression or tension is based on the location of or the direction of force towards a joint, and not by the consideration of the member. Okay, so this is one of the most important point that usually people commit mistake with this, so I have highlighted this. So you should take care of this thing while solving a problem. Okay, so now you have given some random direction that all members are in tension at this joint. Then you should start applying the method of joint. Okay, and then then you will solve the equation and you will calculate the force, and you will switch to another joint, and again you will use the same technique that when you are about to switch, you should decide at which joint I should start. Okay, so yeah, how you have to decide that? Again, you should switch to a joint where maximum two unknown forces are there, maximum. Okay, then it will be easier to solve a question. So this might be going you might not be getting right now. So we'll solve one question, so you will understand how to do this. So okay, so suppose this is a simplest question, or I should add this. Okay, so let us say this is our question and we want to solve this. So initially I have taken the very simple question, that how should you start absorbing the concept. Okay, so what will be the first step? First step, you should see whether the given truss is determinate truss or indeterminate truss. Okay, so how will you calculate? You will calculate the degree of static indeterminacy. How you calculate it? Static indeterminacy internal, static indeterminacy external. How you calculate, let me switch this, write this external here and internal here. Okay, you can go back to your notes for the previous semester and you can see how this is coming. So first we will see for external indeterminacy, the formula is alpha minus S. Then for internal, what is the formula? M minus 2J minus 3. Then what are the reactions? For hinge support there are 2. For roller support there is 1. So total reaction are 3. Number of equilibrium equations are 3. Summation of Fx is equal to 0, summation of Fy is equal to 0, summation of moment at any point P is also 0. So 3 equations are there. So you write here 3 plus, and how many members are in the truss? So let us say member AB is one member, BC is another member, okay, then BD is third member, AD is fourth member, and DC is fifth member. So they are total 5 members. Okay. Then joint, J for joint. How many joints are there? 1 joint, 2 joint, 3 joint, 4 joint. So there are total 4 joints. So 2 into 4 minus 3. You calculate this. 3 minus 3 is 0, plus 5 minus 8 minus 3, 5, so is equal to 0. Since the static indeterminacy is 0, that means truss is it is a determinate truss. Now since it is a determinate truss, we can apply method of joint and we can start solving the question. So let's do it. So how you are going to solve the question is, first you should decide from which joint you are going to start. before that you need to calculate the reactions. Okay, so first step is calculation of reaction or support reactions. So you can see the question. Basically there are three equations: summation of fx is equal to 0, summation of fy is equal to 0, okay, and summation of moment at any point is 0. So first equation that we are going to apply is forces, or all the forces in the x direction, their summation of forces in x direction is 0. So for this, how many reactions are there? First reaction VA, second reaction HA, third reaction at here, this is VC. So total horizontal forces for the given question is only one, that is HA. So nothing is there, so is equal to 0. Sign convention we can take like this. Okay, then again another equation is summation of forces in y direction is 0. So sign convention is upward direction positive, downward direction negative. Forces are positive VA minus 20, then positive, what is it, VC is equal to 0. So you can get here first equation VA plus VC is nothing but 20 kilonewton. So this is your first equation. Okay, then you can apply the another equilibrium condition. What is it? Summation of moment at any point is 0. Let us say we are checking for the point C is equal to 0. Sign convention that we are using is clockwise positive, anti-clockwise negative. Okay, then write the equation that VC multiplied by some distance. For easy to make the question easy, I am writing this as 60-60, making a equilateral triangle. Okay, so that our calculation will be easy. Okay, so let us say one length is that this length between A and C is some length L. Okay, then since it is an equilateral triangle, what will be the value of DC? It will be half. Okay, suppose AC length is nothing but L, then CD will automatically become L by 2, because 60 degree we can use it. So we'll write the equation VC into L, how it is clockwise, then 20 into L by 2, how it is, this is anti-clockwise, is equal to 0. Solve here and you will get VC is equal to 10 kilonewton, and so with solving this equation 1 you will get VA also is equal to 10 kilonewton. Okay, so the first step is over and you have calculated the support reactions. Okay, now you want to apply the method of joint. Okay, so you need to select the joint, that from which joint you are going to start. Okay. So see here how many forces are here: 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are four members. this HA is 0, so this force will disappear, nothing is like here. Why HA is vanished? Because its value is 0. So one force, two force in the member AD, third member is AB, there will be some force in AB. Okay, so there are three force at this point. Similarly, first force VC, then another in the CD and another in the CB. So all the members are having, all this and A and C is having two unknown. What is the unknown at joint A? AB and AD. Two unknowns. At this joint, what are unknowns? CB and CD. So again two unknowns. So both we can start from A also, from C also. Now if you want to see at B how many unknowns are there? 1, 2 and 3. So there are 3 unknowns. So we cannot start from B. We can start either from A or from C, whatever you want. Okay? For my sake, I am starting from A. Okay, you can start from any. So let's start it. So at joint A, so first draw the joint A. What? So this is joint A. At joint A there is one force VA. Its value is 10 kilonewton. Okay. Then what else? Then AD and AB. Draw here. There is AD. This is A, this is D, and this is some B. Okay. These members are connected. Now assume that A and B, A member AD, okay, member AD and member AB initially are in tension. Let us assume that there is some force which is tension F, AD, tension F, A, B. Why tension? It is going away from the joint, so the member AD is in tension. Okay, so all the forces are picturized here. Now start applying the equilibrium condition. So you have two choice. Okay, you have two choice. What are the choice? Summation of fx is equal to 0 or summation of fy is equal to 0. Okay. So which equation you can use first? That's a big question, or that will help you to reduce your time while solving a truss. So which can you use? So suppose let's say you are using this equation. So how many forces are in x direction? Let us see here. Force 1, and the component of Fa will be in x direction also. Okay, some component will be there. So this component and the force AD. So there will be two unknown in this equation. Now if you try to write the equation for this one, so how many unknowns are there? This will not be written, only the vertical component of force AB will be in this equation. So there will be only one unknown. So this, if you will use this equation, it will directly give you one value. Okay, so let us do it. Same sign convention we are using. So how many vertical forces are at joint A? First is VA, it is in upward direction, so positive 10. Okay. Then AD is in x direction, so nothing can be written. Then for FAB's vertical component will be there. Okay. Vertical component of AB will be there. This angle is 60 degree. So this component will be FAB into sine 60. Okay, it is in upward direction, so this is also positive. No other forces is in vertical direction, so you can put this 0, and you can calculate the value of FAB. So what will be the value? You can calculate this 10 divided by sine 60. So this comes out to be 11.55 kilonewton with negative sign. Okay, so what this negative sign indicates, that our assumption that this member AB is in tension is wrong. Okay, is of opposite. So FAB is in compression. Okay, so we have solved for one member AB. Then we will try to solve for other equation. So let's write it. Again, the sign convention are the same. So VA is in vertical direction, so we cannot write it for this equation. We can write for AD, force, this direction in positive x. So FAD. Okay. Then what is another force in x direction? That is component of AB in x direction. Okay, it is going in the positive x direction. So we can write. And what is the value of FAB? We have already calculated this one. Okay. So it is in what direction? It is in this direction. So positive FAB dot cos 60 degree is equal to 0. Now since we have already calculated this one, so you can put the value minus 11.55 into cos 60 is equal to 0, and when you solve this you will get FAD is equal to minus 11.55 multiplied by cos 60, and its value comes out to be 5.78 kilonewton. Okay, so again the sign is negative. What does it indicates? That our assumption is wrong. This member AD is not in tension, rather it is in compression. So minus sign indicates that it is in compression. Okay, so we have calculated two forces or two member forces, and how many members we do have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still need to solve for 3 more members. So we know this one now. We know this one now. Now we want to solve for other 3. So at what joint you should go? Whether you should go this one or this one. Okay, you have already solved for this one. So see here, at this joint B, this AB we know, this BD we don't know, so 1 unknown. This BC we again don't know, so 2 unknown. Okay, so at B there are 2 unknown. Now C at point C or joint C. CD we don't know, so 1 unknown. CB we don't know, so another unknown, and VC we know. Okay, so total there are 2 unknown. So here also 2 unknown, here also 2 unknown. So you can switch, you can go to any of the joint. For now I am going to joint C. So let's solve at joint C. So I will solve at joint C. So this is joint C at which VC is acting. Its value is 10 kilonewton. Okay, there is some member D here. Okay, this is C, and there is some member P here. Okay, this is the condition. Now assume that all the members are in tension. So away from the joint, tension. What is this force? Let us say this is force PC. Let us say this force BC. Okay. So again starts applying method of joint. So you have two options: summation of fx is equal to 0, or another choice is summation of fy is equal to 0. Which choice you will pick first? So see here, for x direction there is one, there is component of another, so there will be two unknowns. So we won't write for fx is equal to 0 first, we will write fx is equal to y is equal to 0 first. So let's start writing. This sign convention is upward positive, downward negative. So first force is Vc, that is 10 kilonewton. So it is in upward direction, so positive. Then dc is in x direction, so we will not write it in the equation. Then bc, what will be the component in here? This angle is 60 degree. Okay, so what is the component? That is FBC into sine 60. Okay, so what is that direction? Upward, so it is positive. So put this is equal to 0. Calculate for FBC. What is the value? So it again comes out to be 11.55 negative in kilonewton. Minus side indicates that BC member is in compression. Okay. Then start solving for this one. Sign convention we are using is positive x positive minus x direction negative. Okay. Start writing the equation. So first force is in FDC. What is the direction? Positive. Sorry, negative. It is in minus x direction. Then this is in vertical direction, so we should ignore this. Then component of FBC in x direction. What is the direction? Minus x. So minus x. What is the value of component? FBC into cos 60. Put this is equal to 0. So minus FDC minus, and put the value of BC, this minus plus 11.55 into cos 60 is equal to 0. Solve for FDC and value comes out to be 11.55 multiplied by cos 60. The value comes out to be 5.78 kilonewton. Since this is this gives a sign of positive, this means it is in tension. So we have again calculated two members. Okay. So again go back. So now we have calculated this force, we have calculated this force. So only one member is left, that is member BD. So you have to switch to another joint. Which joint you will switch? At D, you know this one, you know this one, you know this one, you don't know this BD. Only one unknown is there. At D, again there is, you know this one, but you don't know BD. So there is one unknown. Okay. So you can either solve at D, you can also solve at the B, you will get answer. But at D, I can see that there is only 3 forces, whereas there are total 4 forces. So while writing equation, I have to write one force lesser than at point P. Okay, so I will solve at D for my convenience of calculation. Okay, you can go to anyone, but you should learn to select that at which joint I should move. Okay, so let's go to joint B. At joint D, that is D, this is B, that is A, this is C. Okay. Now you have already calculated few things, that AD is in compression and the value is 5.78. AD is in compression and it is in its value is 5.78. So put that there. So what is here? This member AD is in compression. Compression means force towards the joint. So force towards the joint. Okay. What is this value? This value of AD is, or you can simply ignore this also. Assume that this is like this. And what is the value? Minus 5.78. And for this force FCD, we have also calculated FCD. What is the value? So see here, you have calculated FCD. What is the value? Positive 5.78. So put it there. What is the value? Positive 5.78. Okay. And assume that this member force BD is in tension. Okay. So start writing the equation. Again, you have two choices. Fx is equal to 0, Fy is equal to 0. Now you see that this is in x direction, this is in x direction, where this one is vertical direction. So if you write this equation F BD, okay, so there is no other component is in the vertical direction, so this will be 0. So this directly will give this value. You don't have to write for this equation. So it will end here only. Okay. So now you have calculated all the forces. Okay. So let's write the answer now. What is the final answer? Final answer is like this. This was your initial truss system. This was A, D, B and C. This was roller support. So this member was a 0 member. There was no force in this member that you have calculated. Then you have calculated that AD is in compression, AB is in compression. What is the value in AD? 5.78. Let's write it here. AD is 5.78 and it is in compression. So compression 5.78 compression, because same compression will be for the whole member. Okay. Then again see here. Now see, AB is in compression, that is 11.55. AB is in compression. How much is the value? 11.55. Again see, AB is in compression, means towards the joint. What is the value? 11.55. Okay. Again see what else you have solved. So see here that DC is in tension. What is the value? 5.78. 7A. Put that in your solution. So what is this value? CD is in tension. Tension means away from the joint. Tension means away from the joint. What is the value? 5.78. Okay. Then go for BC. What you have solved for BC? For BC you have solved that 11.55 and that too in compression. So right there. BC is in compression. BC is in compression. What is the value? 11.55. So this is the whole solution for this question. Okay. So you can observe few things for this one, that this member BD don't have any force. It do not participate in the force taking phenomena. It doesn't take any force. So if you somehow make a truss in which one member BD is not even taking force, is not working there, okay, is not doing his work, so the member BD is useless, okay, because it do not contribute in the load bearing. So this, if you will design a truss and if you will design in such a way that few members are not taking forces, then it will be the waste of money. Okay, so whenever you design, you should take care that there should not be any member which do not participate or which is not a zero member force. You should take care of this thing. Okay. Also, for solving a question, you should also see this, that first you can also identify that how many members are like this member, that who do not participate in load taking phenomena, or they are zero member forces. Okay, so we will see how to identify these zero member forces. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, thank you very much.